Success in farming is all about precision and efficiency, ensuring every seed, every drop of water, every nutrient and treatment counts. Terraplex Ag is helping farmers all over Iowa and the Midwest do just that. With precision ag drone technology and support from Terraplex, you'll boost your productivity and make timely and informed decisions, all while reducing your costs and increasing your profit. It's time to revolutionize your farming. Harvest the benefits with Terraplex Ag. Visit TerraplexAg.com.
My name is Joseph Hurst. I live in Ankeny, Iowa, and I'm a part of the PMBA program. I currently work as the Director of Sales at Stony Creek Hotels in Johnston, Iowa, and I chose the Iowa State MBA program because it just made perfect sense. About 2 years ago, I started this wonderful program, and I couldn't imagine not having done it. What has helped the most balance work, life, school, has been the people I'm in class with. It's great to go through questions, problems, study for tests, and it just makes the whole class so much easier. As a working professional thinking about doing an MBA program, I get night classes aren't everybody's dream. I get after a long day of work, you may not want to go do more, but it's worth it. You're going to learn a lot, not just from the professors in the program, but from the other students. They come from all walks of life. They are from different age groups. They're from different companies. They're from all kinds of different backgrounds. They've got all kinds of different stories. And after 2 years, I've made some of the best friends I've ever made, learned the most I've ever learned, and I can't imagine what we're going to do after we're done.
I'm Chris Williams from Cyclone Fanatic and a proud Iowa State graduate from the class of 2007. No one shows up like Iowa State fans.
And Cyclones support Cyclones on and off the field.
Your gift can provide scholarships to students, fund groundbreaking research. We could even drum up opportunities for the marching band. Visit MoveWhatMatters.com to learn how you can make an impact today.
Chris Williams, Brent Blum, from the Wild Rose Casino Studio. It's Williams and Blum, presented by Mechdyne, on the Cyclone Fanatic Podcast Network.
What up? Williams and Blum, Wednesday, the 8th of January. Late show on your Wednesday. We are going to basically ignore Tuesday night's game and just look ahead to Saturday. This has to be a very abbreviated show. I've got to get back to Southwest Iowa, and to Blum's kind enough, we're just going to knock this thing out. We are presented, as always, by our friends at Mechdyne. We are in the Wild Rose Casino Studios, and Iowa State keeps on rolling. It's always good, Blum, when you... they didn't play poorly. They didn't play great. It was just a nice game, and you win by 23 over a Utah team that I don't think Craig was probably that upset with how that team played.
They played hard. They played hard. They just don't have the
shots early.
They don't have the dudes. Yeah, Iowa State's going to beat the drum here. Iowa State's really good, and that's 2 games in a row or not. Defensively, though, okay, we got to talk about this because this team has been knocked a little bit for not as good defense this year. I thought 2 games in a row, it's been as good as it has been all year. And really, Colorado's second half was excellent as well.
Is the strength of the Otzelberger staff now? A lot of strengths, obviously, but they get better defensively throughout the year. That's why I said early on with the new bigs, that was our theme going into the non-con, right? The bigs and the defense, because it's just different at this level. And we kind of thought, okay, the Auburn game wasn't great. There's a lot of these games that weren't great, even the Dayton. Iowa game. But we're Iowa. They'll get better. It's coachable stuff, and they are getting better.
For sure. I thought Chatfield has really helped. I think Momchilovic's defense the last 2 games are the 2 best games in a row he's had, both defensively and on the glass, which is a huge sign. Because if you can get him to defend as he did yesterday, even when the ball's not going in, and it didn't for him yesterday, that is a huge, huge plus. I think it's a fascinating matchup, though, with Texas Tech, because, again, these guys are good, they're at home, and they are small, C-Dub. So that's good if you're the Presidents. It also means Iowa State's going to have to be really attentive defensively because Tech's really going to try and space Iowa State out and just take a bunch of threes. And if there's a team that can give Iowa State problems defensively, I really do think it's this Tech team coming up on Saturday.
This is a scary game, no doubt. And I think whenever the line comes out, it's going to dictate that. Iowa State, metric-wise, is a point better. I think Texas Tech will be a small favorite to open. We'll see.
It'll be a point either way. Yeah.
It's going to be wherever Vegas is going to tell us what they think will happen. If Tech comes out as a favorite, they think Tech's going to win, right? Like they're trying to bait people to bet on the number 3 ranked team. If Iowa State comes out as a favorite, Vegas thinks that'll be a good sign. I think we'll kind of just play that out. Want to thank a couple sponsors real quick. Knock this out. I actually learned a lot this week how important it is to have a will when you die.
Yeah.
Hopewood, JD. I'm not kidding. Like, sat with a lawyer on Tuesday morning, and oh my God, it changes everything. HopewoodJD.com. She can get your will done in a day, and I am not screwing around on that. I've been talking about this for years. It's happening.
Well, just real quick, buddy, I know tough loss for your family this week with a close relative to you, and that's why the show's going to be a little short. Thinking about you and your family, pal.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that very much. Yeah, she, Aunt Deb was wild. We had a lot of good memories. She was a huge Hawk, her and my Uncle Dick, but when I went to Iowa State, they always came up to games. One of my favorite memories is one of the Paul Rhodes signing day parties. And Uncle Dick came and he didn't wear a Tiger Hawk. They were both there.
Yep, I remember.
Aunt Deb was much more eloquent, didn't wear black. This is before black was a school color at Iowa State. Uncle Dick wore all black to go and give Paul Rhodes shit. But no, that was our family, the true house divided.
Yep.
Speaking of that, signing day party, I know you wanted to pub this because we just got this out. I'm excited that I will be emceeing this again this year.
Yeah.
Thank you for asking. This is the old Cyclone Fanatic recruiting party that has been passed down generations to now. It is the We Will, and we have gone from the keg stand in West Des Moines to the Talons of Tuscany Clubhouse. Wow.
Have you been in there, by the way? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I've been been there a couple times. It's unbelievable.
First of all, it's my favorite night of the year because it's awesome. And we'll have 15 of the best football players. We'll have the entire coaching staff there, autographs, pictures, the whole thing. Obviously, some great one-of-a-kind memorabilia items for auction. This is a fundraiser. So, again, appreciate everyone's attendance. This will sell out, so hop on it now. And we've got some special surprises in store for this year, C-Dub. I'll leave it at that.
Ooh.
Yeah. But, no, thank you for allowing us to pass the torch for this And this year's going to be bigger.
You can gladly take it, my friend.
Bigger and better than ever, and literally maybe the nicest venue in the central Iowa area. The place.
You know what's funny? I was
immaculate.
thinking about this last night because your wife sent me all the details on it, and I was thinking about the first one of these we ever did, and it was at that old bar, 3 Bag.
Yeah.
In West Des Moines.
Yes.
And it was Chris Ash. It was the running backs coach.
Tony Alford.
Tony Alford.
You, me, and those two guys are the projector.
Yeah. I mean, we had a lot of big hitters come through that thing over the years, though. A lot of guys who are head coaches now, that have come through those parties. And
still, my favorite moment for
there were like
those.
15 people that showed up for that first.
Yeah,
time.
there was nobody there, and we handed out magazine subscriptions. I mean, that's how long ago it was. No, my favorite of that.
We had to pay for our own pizza. I remember.
My favorite
Terrible
of those
company.
When we were in our younger ages, when it got a little raucous back in the day.
Oh yeah.
So everyone's had a few pops, and Mark Mangino comes rolling in.
Oh God.
Literally when he just got announced, and he wanted to be anywhere else but
he was
there.
Just rude to people.
Rude to everybody. I'm like, oh, not a great start there, Mangino.
The real MVP of those was Tom Herman back in the day.
Oh, him and Shane Burnham were elite at those things.
Shane O'Mac.
Shane's now an NIL agent.
I saw that. He's representing the Cole kid.
JJ Cole, yeah.
Yeah. I love Shane. I need to interview him for my book. He's one of the guys I've got to get in touch with here.
WeWillCollective.com. You'll onto the events page, grab some tickets, and again, hope to sell that thing out. And the portal reopens here in March.
It always is coming open. It's always portal
It's always
season.
open. Yeah.
No, our great sponsors, Gravitate Co-working, gravitatecoworking.com. Think of them for all of your office needs. Kelderman Manufacturing, of course. Appreciate Jeff and his support of the show. And, of course, our friends at Game Day Men's Health. New year, new you, baby. New year, new you. God's honest truth. I'm not saying this to be – I'm just giving you a realistic, of how this has worked for me. I bought, 8 years ago, a custom suit. I had a custom suit made, okay? And I haven't been able to fit in it in 4 or 5 years. And it was one of those where it couldn't be tailored anymore. I just got too fat. And I don't have anything that fits me right now. I went to try on this custom suit last night, and it's too big for me now. Because of my friends at Game Day.
That's awesome.
So, for real, when I say that, I was really in rough shape last April, and they've changed my life. So, Game Day Men's Health in Ankeny, couldn't recommend these people more. They do great work, and they can help you with all sorts of different things that may or may not be going on with you. Okay, so Texas Tech wins at BYU.
Yeah, impressive.
Watch that game. Watch the second half of that game last night after the Iowa State game. And, you kind of gave us a nice little rundown of Tech, I thought, on Sunday's podcast. I got really that was as closely as I've watched them this year. You forget about a guy like McMillan until he's just an assassin out on the 3-point line. I thought he was the key in that win last night at BYU.
Nobody's talking about him enough.
No.
His ascension. He's the third-ranked player in America in effective field goal percentage. Wow. And that is really impressive. He's shooting over 50% from three. This is a guy between him, Williams. They can shoot it now. And
I was yelling at BYU, and I didn't really guard him.
Yeah, and this is why I'm a little concerned about this game. They can spread the floor now, but I'm looking at Iowa State. I'm like, man, I don't know how they're going to man up defensively on Iowa State's physical guards. This is a Keyshawn Taman get downhill. These guys are small guards. Between McMillan and Hawkins is the Minnesota transfer. They are not big at all. And then inside, they got the Frederico kid who transferred from Pitt.
Frederico.
That's right. And
Didn't
he's
we
long.
play him a couple years ago?
We did. Yeah, he was on that Pitt team. He's really long. Again, good shot blocker, but not real physical. So it's going to be an interesting chess match. And I think the Tech coach is great.
I do too.
I think he's really good.
He could have been a head coach, or he could have been in the Big 12 a lot earlier.
Yeah, he's an old Baylor guy.
I always thought he was going to end up at Oklahoma. I thought that they are actually going to fire Porter at one point to get this guy, but no, he's a legit.
It's interesting because he was on that staff, the longtime Baylor staff with Scott Drew and Jerome Tang, and literally Tang was the recruiter, and this McCausland was anyway. Shows my opinion on Tang.
Well, Tang was the Wayne Morgan. To put it in our words.
Yeah, there you go. But they're really.
Am I being inaccurate?
No. The X's and O's wise, I think they do a really nice job. And then Williams is a great player. He is a top 10 player in the country. So this is not going to be easy. Iowa State struggles down there anyway. Everybody does. It's a tough place to play. That said, I think Iowa State inside and on the glass should have some advantages here. And if Keyshawn Gilbert's able to get to the rim and get them in foul trouble, it could be a long day for Texas Tech as well. That's the nice thing here with Iowa State is they got so many ways that Iowa State can beat these guys. I think Tech has to shoot it great. And so that's the difference. They can, absolutely. This is going to tell us a lot about Iowa State, but to be 3-0 going in this spot, Iowa State's in a really nice spot, specifically with Tennessee getting crushed last night. You're looking at a top 2 team potentially if Iowa State wins this game.
Interesting, too, when you scout Tech and you just look at their numbers. We talk about offense, and that's what McCausland is. He's one of those elite offensive-minded coaches in college basketball. Think Fred Hoiberg, right? That type of guy. What stands out to you is you mentioned field goal percentage with McMillan, but it's really the whole team.
Yeah,
their effective field goal percentage is second in the country at 59.1%. 3-point percentage, 14th in the country. 2-point percentage, 13th in the country. 33rd best free throw shooting team in the country. They're just hella efficient.
Yeah.
So it's the only way I can put it with this version of Texas Tech basketball. They put the damn ball in the hoop.
It is almost a. Now they're still physical. They still guard you, but this isn't the Chris Beard Texas Tech teams.
No.
I mean, this is more of your super. Really a lot like the old Iowa State teams during the Fred era. The way
but they play better defense.
But
defense. They're not
still
great.
They're not great.
Enough.
But this is not. I look for some points in this game. I'll just put it that way. I think this thing gets in the 150s for sure.
Iowa State, after the Utah game, does move up a spot in KenPom because Tennessee gets throttled by Florida last night.
Yeah.
Loses by 30. Metrics killer for an undefeated Tennessee team because they don't like it when you get your ass handed to you. Yeah. So they drop all the way to like 6. Iowa State moves up to 4. And we just can't keep an eye on it. So I just went through field goal percentages and whatnot for Texas Tech. Here's the comp for Iowa State. Effective field goal percentage, you're at 28th.
Yep.
3-point, Iowa State all the way down at 113th, 22nd, and 2 points. But overall, you're with your efficiency number. You're at number 6. You're technically a more efficient offense than Texas Tech.
Yeah,
just because Iowa State doesn't turn the damn ball over.
They don't turn the, and then they could be so much better around the rim, but they are really good around the rim. And you just talked about. I think Jefferson is just he's such cheat code. Because he can break. When Iowa State was struggling there, just like, all right, just give it to Joshua and let him go to work, and it worked. So I again, this Iowa State team is good. This game won't change my opinion on either team. I think both of these teams are Sweet 16 caliber. This is going to be a high-end game. I think Gukin actually put it out this morning that KenPom has this as the second highest thrill score, which is the equivalent of most entertaining game for the year.
Oh, wow.
I mean, and that's because you've got two really good teams on the home floor of a team with a great home court advantage. This scene's going to be really good. There we go. So this is going to be fun. I mean, this is why you play in these games, and it's not going to kill Iowa State if it loses, but a win would put you in like prime 1 seed territory, and set you up great for the rest of the Big 12 season too.
Let's go ahead and look at our do our Wiffles Hybrids Big 12 segment for. We probably should mention Wednesday games before I just dive in. Just a couple tonight. If you're listening on Wednesday, if you're listening on Thursday, just fast forward 30 seconds. You've got Colorado at Central Florida tonight. You've got Arizona State at Kansas. That will be worth watching. Kansas will be a 14, 15-point favorite in that game, but nonetheless, we want to see more of Kansas.
I do too.
Because you play them a week from today. Saturday slate looks like this. This is the Wiffles Hybrids Big 12 segment. Kansas is at Cincinnati. Really interesting game.
Cincinnati needs that in a bad way.
They're desperate, and we had that conversation on Sunday night. Is Cincinnati any good? And they
worked yesterday.
They just got punked. The other interesting note, the most interesting game I thought on Wednesday night was Arizona just throttling West Virginia in Morgantown.
Yep. They're getting
West
better.
West Virginia for real.
Well,
I think that's
without
fair...
DeVries, I don't know when he's going to come back. Like that is a massive deal for West Virginia. They weathered it for a game. That's the type of thing that's hard to. They just don't have offense right now in Morgantown.
Worth watching. Houston is at Kansas State. We think Houston wins that game. It's still the Octagon of Doom. Kansas State loses at Oklahoma State on Wednesday night.
Horrible loss again for them.
Yeah, just really I mean, it made me look dumb. My comments on Sunday, I'm like, I think they're probably better talent-wise than they're. I don't know if they are now. Like, that was really disheartening if you're a Kansas State fan.
Real quick, because I know we're up against a little bit. Big 12 championship odds. You want to play guess? You want to play guess the championship winner?
Right now. Let's go. Houston is the favorite.
Correct. What's their number?
Plus 250?
They're plus 120.
No way.
Yeah.
I can't believe anybody's that close to even money.
Well, this is interesting. You'll appreciate this next team. Who do you think's second?
Iowa State.
Correct. What do you think their number is?
Well, if they're at 120, Iowa State's got to be at 180.
155.
Wow. Okay, everything is. And then you got Kansas.
Kansas is fourth. Arizona third at 10-1.
So
Kansas fourth at 11-1. Tech fifth at 14-1.
So it's a two horse race.
Vegas is saying, hey, everybody, this is the Houston and Iowa State race at the moment. Now, this will change, but they're just indicative of what makes me feel like we knew what we were talking about, because we said this is a two-team race, and I think those two teams have clearly separated themselves.
I think Arizona is in the mix.
They are.
That was a statement game, and plus, if you got to look at their, I need them to get a good win, like a really good win. I haven't seen that, but their losses are all to good teams in the non-con. It's
just some inexcusable ones in the non-con, but maybe they've figured it out. Maybe they have.
They have talent.
Oh, for sure. I mean, when you have the Love Kid and the bigs they have, they've got
guys.
Yeah.
All right. Elsewhere this weekend, you've got Oklahoma State, Utah. Nobody cares. Baylor at Arizona State, which is
you get tickets. You can get tickets in Utah for $2 for that Oklahoma State game.
You can get a ticket to Baylor, Arizona State for $4, and right now
$4.
The cheapest one to go to that Iowa State game there is. I just spent just to get lowers because like the university has none because of the demand for those games. I just spent like
just by the way,
$150 a ticket.
Iowa State for road basketball games doesn't get much at all, if any, and they're usually just for players and families. So don't even try to inquire.
It's not
a
even
lot of times.
Well, I had a couple contacts. I thought
so you can't get them,
and that was not happening. And then you have Central Florida at Arizona, and it's still weirded me out to play these Sunday games. It's not on my radar that the Big 12 has Sunday games. West Virginia, Colorado. So not a great weekend as far as Big 12 games.
Yeah.
I really missed the round robin right about now, but
thank goodness for Iowa State Tech. That's a marquee game.
That's the game.
What channel we got there, Aiden?
ESPN.
At 1 o'clock?
1 o'clock on ESPN. Okay. That is correct.
Should be a good one.
And then the next game to watch, but damn it, it's at the exact same time. Kansas-Cincinnati would be my second one to watch.
It's at 1 o'clock too?
It's also at 1 o'clock. That is on ESPN+.
Come on, Yormark.
We've got to figure this out. There's got to be a portal for sports fans in the coming year or two.
You want to get in the portal and go to another sport?
No, for all the TV.
Yeah. It's
too hard right now.
It's really hard. Little pro tip: if you go to the ESPN.com website, there's a little banner in the upper right where it says TV listings. It has everything there with scoreboards. It's actually, I've found it to be super helpful.
When you're on like your computer,
when you're on or your phone,
just click on it and it'll just pull it right up.
Yeah, it's up in the upper.
Like last night, I had rooting interest in Iowa City.
Yeah, and I couldn't find that game for a while, and then finally found it on
I couldn't even find it. Yeah,
Peacock.
like in...
Poor Fred.
Oh, jeez. That was a tough one.
Good for Iowa State's net ranking, though, because, hey, go Iowa. Don't lose to everybody here.
No, that's true. Would you rather take the minor hit in the net or watch McCaffrey lose every game the rest of the way?
The latter. But at least I have, if they do win, it's like, okay, well, that's good for the net.
Well, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for doing
hang
this.
in there.
Quick show today. Wanted to give everybody their Big 12 basketball. And we will have pregame and postgame. We do this every game for the men and the women. We'll have it tonight. The women are at Arizona State. I'm assuming Leah and Chelsea. I haven't heard any different. And then I'll be back on Saturday to knock those out with Leah. 30 minutes before every game, right after every game. We're live on social media, analyzing everything Cyclones. He's Brent Blum. My name is Chris Williams. Aiden Wyatt producing the show, as always, presented by Mechdyne here on the Cyclone Fanatic Podcast Network.